Listen, I don't know who this is for, but you don't need another sign. You just need to move. There comes a moment when you have to stop asking, when is my life going to change? And instead start asking, what am I going to do with the life God has given me today? Because sometimes we are waiting for God to change everything around us when God is trying to change something deep down inside of us. And you keep waiting for the perfect opportunity. You keep waiting for the perfect relationship. You keep waiting for your finances to be perfect. You keep waiting for the perfect moment. But what if the moment you keep waiting for is actually the moment God is asking you to create through your obedience? Romans chapter 12, verse 2 tells us to let God transform us by the changing in the way we think. And that means transformation begins in a place nobody else can see, which is your mind. Before your life looks different, your thinking has to become different. You cannot keep rehearsing the same fears and expect to walk confidently into a new season. And you cannot keep telling yourself, I can't, when God has been teaching you constantly, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And I'm not saying you're never going to be afraid, because it happens. I'm just saying fear doesn't get to make your decisions anymore, and it shouldn't. And you can still be afraid and still move forward. And you can still be uncertain and still obey the Lord. And you can still be tired and still take the next step. And you can still cry and keep going. Because faith isn't always feeling confident in every decision that you make. Sometimes faith is simply saying, God, I don't know exactly where this is going, but I trust you enough to take the next step. And we also see in Colossians chapter 3, verse 2, where it tells us to think about the things of heaven and not merely the things of earth. So we have to stop measuring our entire future by what we see right now in front of us. Your bank account could be very low right now. Your bank account is not your destiny, though. And your current circumstances are not your identity. Your past is not your prophecy. And somebody else's opinion of you is not God's definition of you. There's so much more. There's more growth, there's more purpose, more discipline, more courage, more obedience, more life to live. And maybe the breakthrough you've been praying for isn't going to arrive as a package that Amazon delivered at your front doorstep. Maybe it's going to look like you finally becoming the person capable of carrying what you've been praying for. So I need for you to not ask God for another sign today, but instead ask him for wisdom. Ask him for courage and not an easier road. Ask him for strength so that you don't feel alone. And ask him to remove challenging obstacles, but keep the ones that are going to grow you, to help you endure. Don't despise where you're at, because this growth is necessary. It's teaching you something. So pay attention to every detail, because one day you're going to look back at the version of you who almost gave up and realize that that person didn't know how strong God was making her or him to be. So I need you to get up, not because everything is perfect, but get up because God is still God. Get up because your purpose didn't disappear. Get up because your story is still being written at this moment. And get up because there are people you haven't met yet, places you haven't gone yet, and prayers you haven't seen answered yet, an assignment you haven't even completed yet. You are still becoming. And as long as God has given you another day to breathe, another opportunity to choose faith, another opportunity to be obedient instead of comfortable, instead of having a million excuses, just breathe. Get your mind right, get your prayer life up, put your hands back to the plow, and take the next step. You don't have to have the entire staircase out in front of you to trust. Trust and believe and know that God's got you. So I pray this message helps someone. I pray it uplifts you all. And I pray you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I'll take care.